Well, during the COP18 in Copenhagen, all the countries tried to support the developing countries' efforts for their measures of mitigation and adaptation. We have agreed upon the Fast Start Finance. Fast Start Finance will be for 3 years, starting from 2008 to 2012, till the end of this year. And during the 3 years' time, Japan has endeavored very much to support the efforts of the developing countries. And today, we have announced that as of the end of October 2012, we have disbursed 17.4 billion US dollars. And this is over 986 projects in 110 countries in the world. And of course, these projects are, well, categorized in the adaptation and mitigation. And in case of mitigation, we are supporting the renewable energy production, like the solar energy, wind power energy, geothermal energy in African countries, in Asia, and everywhere in the world. At the same time, we are supporting the adaptation to support the flood management, flood risk management projects, or the early warning system, or the trying to reduce the disaster damages as much as possible. And these are composed of these, the 986 projects in the world. And this is a quite sizable amount. And during these 3 years' time, at the midpoint, the 3/11 took place. And in spite of these big earthquakes and the tsunami which hit Japan, and we need a lot of our funds in order to restore our country. Nonetheless, we have succeeded to achieve the pledged amount, which we did 15 billion US dollars 3 years ago. And I have to stress, I have to emphasize that this is with the great efforts and the sweats of all the people engaged with all these projects in order to cope with the climate change in the world. And not only the adaptation and mitigation, as I explained to you, including the RED Plus, which is the forestry conservation and the measures against the deforestation and the degradation of the forestry. So I am very appreciative of the Japanese people's understanding, and this Fast Start Finance part composed of our big Japan's vision and action to try to construct the green economy as well as the low carbon society, not only in Japan but everywhere in the world. And we have announced the Japan's vision and the action last year in order to construct the low carbon economy and which is resilient to climate change during the Durban COP17. And during the last 1 year, we had a big, sizable progress. And under this, what shall I say, Japan's vision and action, we have succeeded in forming a kind of a networking and cooperative initiatives taking place under EAS, East Asia Summit. And East Asia Summit area is the very, very wide, composed of 18 countries, centering ASEAN countries, 10 countries, and the India, China, and Korea, and New Zealand, Australia, and USA, and Russia, 18 countries inclusive, which is a share of all these countries is the 63% of the global emission of the CO2. Therefore, we already started in order to implement this networking and formulation of the climate change measures and policies and so on, and also the networking among the research institutes in Asia. And that has been already launched, and academicians and researchers started to trying to share the know-hows and the researches, joint researches, and that is one of the already good results. And also with the bilaterally, we are supporting, for instance, Vietnam or other countries. And yesterday, as side events of this COP18, we made the good presentation together with the Vietnamese government. This trying to create the low carbon economy in Vietnam. And this is not only with Vietnam, but with as many countries as possible. And within the EAS, 18 countries agreed upon to advance and to proceed. Also, we are, Japan is endeavoring to support African countries, and we have the initiative of TICAD, which is the short for Tokyo International Conference on African Development. And under this, what shall I say, initiative, we have already done 4 TICAD, and TICAD 5 will be taking place next June next year. And there, we would like to support the African countries for their formulation of the national policy vis-a-vis climate change and adaptation and mitigation. This is a whole, what shall I say, vision and action. And together with the innovation among the developing countries is very important, and the technology transfer between the developed and developing countries very important, and financing is also important, particularly for the vulnerable countries. Therefore, by first start finance, we are supporting developing countries, and also by the regional efforts of the constructing regionally the low carbon community, and by region-wise, and we hope that will become global.
Right. So obviously a huge amount of money pledged and a great deal of effort around the world on the climate change issue. Yet at the same time, I guess the rest of the world, people here at this conference, will ask the question, why is Japan not committed to the second stage of the Kyoto Agreement?
Regarding the Kyoto Protocol first commitment period, second commitment period, already 2 years ago in Cancun, COP16, we made it clear that Japan will not participate second commitment period of Kyoto Protocol. The reason is, as you know very well, those countries which are bound by Kyoto Protocol are very limited. In other words, the emission of the CO2 by these legally bound countries is only the share, global share is only 26%, only 1/4 of the global emissions. And in other words, big emitters are outside of this legally bound domain. And therefore, in a way, Kyoto Protocol is, in a way, not really fair. And what we have been advocating and appealing to all the other members is we need to formulate a new international framework which is fair and effective and which is applicable to all. In other words, as everybody knows, USA is not a party to Kyoto Protocol. All the developing countries and, for instance, China or India and other emerging economy are not the members, or they are members, but they are not bound by the Kyoto Protocol. And therefore, for instance, China today is 24% of the, and India is 5.5%, and USA 17%. And we wish that all these parties will be on board the same ship and try to, what shall I say, do as much as possible to reduce the CO2 emissions. And from that point of view, we are very happy that the Durban platform was agreed upon by all the members, all the parties agreed upon Durban platform. So this COP18 here in Doha is very important because this is the first year of the, what shall I say, in order to realize this process of a Durban platform, which stipulates that the protocol or other legal instruments and so on so. But anyway, one framework, new framework, which is applicable to all. And from this point of view, we wish that at the end of the day of this COP18, that all the parties will agree upon on the sort of work plan to how to negotiate the contents of a new, new framework,
more inclusive, a more inclusive protocol that would replace Kyoto. Okay. Are you hopeful?
Or universal.
Universal, yeah.
And it has to be formulated by the year 2015, so that that will be operative from by the year 2020.
Are you hopeful? Are you confident, optimistic that that might happen?
Japan is ready to exert our best efforts, and we have been doing already since the adoption of Durban platform in COP17.